Yeah, good morning, everyone. So after a long run in last 4 5 days, yesterday US market has taken some breather, remain more of a marginal negative, and futures are also a bit soft. But Asian markets are indicating major decline, mainly on account of increasing tension between between China and US, wherein their House Speaker Pelosi will be visiting Taiwan today, and which China has warned the consequences of visiting of Pelosi to Taiwan, as China consider Taiwan as their territory. So this has created some tensions, and because of that, the Asian markets are seeing some decline. And also, if we see the commodities are also soft. Uh, Oil has come down to below $100, and now it is at around 99. Aluminum was also down by around 2% yesterday. Copper was also down by 2%. Today morning, iron ore is flat, and steel is down by around 1%. Against all these things, the dollar index is still at soft and not showing any shine of reversals. So overall seems more of an event-based, some profit booking may be seen in today's trade in India as well. I'll request technical team to take up from here.
Yes, thank you, sir. Very good morning, all of you. As Sunil sir has also mentioned that we are facing a little pressure from the higher levels from the global markets. Even today, in the Indian markets, we feel there's going to be a gap down opening, and there's going to be a slight profit booking in today's session. Well, Nifty has zoomed up from all the way from its 100 DMA, crossing its 200 DMA. That's given a strong closing above 17,300 levels. Whereas we feel today a slight profit booking will be there, and for today, immediate support is placed at 17,250. And if we witness a selling below that, then 17,170 and 17,100 will be the next support levels for index. Also, there's an important support level for Nifty, which is 200 DMA. It displays around 17,000 levels. So that is the most important support level in next few trading sessions. Whereas if Nifty reverses and starts moving upwards, then the next immediate resistance would be 17,420, followed by 17,500 levels. Moving on to Bank Nifty has shown a good rally from its 200 DMA, and it has moved around 37,900 levels. The immediate support for this index for today is placed at 37,640. And if we witness a closing below this, then 37,300 to 37,000 levels will be tested again. Whereas immediate resistance on the upside for this index is placed at 38,180, followed by 38,500 levels. Moving on to Nifty Financial Services, this is moving in range with the Nifty. So immediate support for this index is placed at around 17,200, followed by 17,120. And resistance is around at 17,400 to 17,480. Stock specific, Apollo Tires is looking good. There can be a buying opportunity in this index, in this stock above 224 levels. We have already initiated a buy call. One can take a buy position for a target of 245 with a stop loss of 215. Also, ONGC is looking good. One can take a buy call on this index as well, on this stock as well, for a target of 152 and keeping a stop loss of 132. Thank you so much. That's all from my side. I request derivative guys to take the call.
Yeah, thank you, Ash. Good morning, everyone. So, as per derivatives data outlook in yesterday's trading session, we are seeing that as per the OI position, almost at 17,200 strike, almost around 7 million position of put writer position got added up. So, 17,200 will act as an important support zone, while on the upper end, we are seeing at 17,400 and 500 on a weekly basis, call writer positions are getting added up, but on a minor rate. So, 17,400 would be the nearest resistance. Once a clearance of 17,400 gets in the Nifty, there would be again a buying opportunity will be created in the market. On the monthly basis, we are seeing that at 17,500 is the highest call at a position. So 17,400, 500 would be the important resistance range on the upper end. As per the yesterday's scenario and the last week's scenario, as we are seeing in the market, we are seeing that a continuous lift Nifty has shown a good move on the upper end. And now we will see some sort of a range bound momentum in today's trading session. Almost we are seeing that a Nifty is likely to open 100 points on the lower end. But on the lower end, again, we are seeing as per the derivative data outlook, 17,200 and 300 is acting as an important supportive zone. So till the time Nifty is holding 17,200 level, hold your long positions. Once if Nifty breaks 17,200 level, then only we might expect some heavy profit booking on the lower end. Currently, the outlooks remain to be positive. Once if in today's trading session, if index Nifty goes above 17,400 level, then again the buying trigger would be activated in the market, and again buying momentum would be generated in the market. Currently, we are seeing that in previous two trading session, many stocks have given a major breakout and many stocks have created 52 weeks high. So from major stock of specific view, there is a strong momentum from the stocks also. So there will be supportive from the stock specific also. So you should create and hold your long position with the support of 17,200 level. Against that, we are seeing that PCR yesterday closed at 1.49 level and India VIX also closed at 16.50 level. So both are trading at the stable rate. So hold your long position. There is not much of panic at the current situation in the market. Only hold a support with the support of a 17,200 level. As per stock specific and sector specific, we should recommend to wait for some time. Once if Nifty gets a clearance of 17,400 level, then only create new long positions. That's it from derivative front. Thank you.
Good morning. On the results front, Varun Beverages result was ahead of expectation. There was a strong beat on top line as the opening up theme is playing out well for the company. Sales, EBITDA and profits all grew at more than 100% year on year, although on a low base. Company has guided for double-digit volume growth over next 3 years, and we can assume a price growth of around 5%. So net there is good growth visibility for the company going forward also. So we are positive on the company. Max Financial Services, the holding company of Max Life Insurance, result is broadly in line with expectation. Out of all the listed life insurance companies, Max posted the slowest growth in AP at 15% year on year, despite a low base. That is why we are neutral from short-term perspective and think that other companies like ICICI Prudential and SBI Life can outperform in the short run. Prudent Corporate Advisory Services, the recent IPO, its business model is similar to Anand Rathi Wealth, where they act as mutual fund distributors. Result was okay. Equity AUM mix remains stable at 93%. Market share of equity AUM for Prudent was stable at 2.3% of industry. And AUM came at 48,000 crores, which declined by 1% quarter on quarter and increased by 49% year on year. In comparison to Anand Rathi Wealth, the AUM for Anand Rathi was flattish on a quarter on quarter basis. Revenue for Prudent declined by 1% quarter on quarter. However, EBITDA declined by 5%. So we are neutral in short term, and it's a good quality stock from long term point of view. So once markets stabilize, it can again give compounded returns of around 20 odd % from long term point of view. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Indocount Industries has posted decline set of numbers majorly on the margin front. Revenue grew by 1.8% QOQ. However, EBITDA margins came in at 17.3% versus QOQ of 19.1%. Stock is trading at 5.9 times FY24 EPS. Arvind Limited has posted improved set of numbers for the quarter with revenue growth grew by 6.7% QOQ and came in at 2352 crore. EBITDA margin came in at 9.4% and EBITDA came in at 220 crore. Stock is trading at a PE of 7.3 times TTM EPS. Thank you.
Good morning. Ramco Cement's result was above expectation. Sales volume came at 3.3 million ton versus expectation of 3 million ton. Realization per ton came at rupees 5,355 versus expectation of 5,424. EBITDA per ton came at 908 versus expectation of 747. The EBITDA per ton, the number is good given the amid pressure of rising energy prices. So the company has performed well. Margins have remained stable quarter on quarter at 17%. Stock is trading at EV by EBITDA of 12 times FY24 earnings. Shri Digvijay Cement reported improved set of numbers. Revenue came in at 161 crores versus 169 crores. EBITDA came at 31 crores versus 29 crores sequentially. Margins have improved at 19.3% versus 17.4% sequentially. Apart from this, NMDC reported its volume numbers for July month, which came in at 2.95 million ton versus 1.9 million ton, up by 55% sequentially. So this is positive for the company. Coal India offtake for July month came at 54.5 million ton versus 59 million ton month on month. This is neutral for the company. Thank you.
Good morning. So, yesterday, major auto companies announced its July sales numbers. Auto OEMs in July saw year-on-year improvement across segments except two-wheeler OEMs, which saw flattish volume, and tractor OEMs, which saw decline in volume on a slightly lower base of July 2021, which was marked by the second COVID wave. On a month-on-month basis, major PV OEMs posted marginal growth on the back of improvement in demand and easing of supply side challenges, with Maruti Suzuki leading the chart. In two-wheelers, overall volume was up by 5% YOY and down by 5% month-on-month, reflecting an average performance. Going forward, we believe that the key to two-wheeler sales recovery will be the progress in monsoon and kharif sowing. In Maruti Suzuki saw sales volume in July showed good improvement, although there was a minor impact on production due to shortage of electronic components. The company expects the situation to persist in the next few months also. M&M Auto saw decent demand trends led by new launches and a strong response to existing models. It has a robust order book for new launches. The new Scorpio received a great response with 1 lakh bookings on the first day. Um, However, the tractor sales saw a decline mainly due to delayed monsoon, but it expects to be better in the latter half of August 22. Tata Motors CV demand showed some slack month on month, but overall the company expects demand to grow, led by improving fleet utilization and traction in economic activities. PV sales sustained strong growth momentum on a YY basis on the back of robust order book for conventional PVs as well as EVs. Hero MotoCorp reported a fall in motorcycle volume on month basis as well as YOY basis. Scooter sales were relatively low due to muted rural demand. TVS Motor export volume was marginally down month on month, but the company expects good export momentum going forward. Domestic volume was broadly flattish QOQ as volume was impacted by some shortage of semiconductors. Bajaj Auto overall volume was flattish month on month. Domestic volume witnessed robust growth, which was countered by decline in exports. Domestic demand is expected to pick up going ahead, driven by positive rural demand indicators and the beginning of festive season. Ashok Leyland overall MHCV volume grew on a YY basis on the back of a slightly lower base. We see the demand momentum sustaining post normalization of economic activities and due to rising demand from infrastructure and construction activities. On the results front, Escorts Kubota announced its results. The result was below expectation. Revenue came in at 2,032 crore versus an expectation of 2,058 crore, which grew by 8% sequentially and 19% on a YY basis. The bottom line was impacted due to steep inflation in commodity prices coupled with adverse product mix, which saw an impact due to industry shift towards lower horsepower segment, adversely impacting operating profit. EBITDA margin came in at 10% versus an expectation of 13.9%, which was lower on a sequential as well as a YY basis. Tractor volume grew by 3% on a YY basis, which was up 22% QOQ, while construction equipment volume grew by 59% YOY, but was down 25% sequentially. With the onset of monsoon and likely record Kharif crop production, rural liquidity, and farmer sentiments, the company is expected to company expects volumes to gradually improve. The stock is trading at a P of 17.1 times FY24 EPS. Goodyear India announced its result. The result has improved. Revenue came in at 819 crore, which grew by 37% sequentially and 53% on a YOY basis on the back of higher volumes coupled with pricing actions to offset inflationary pressure. EBITDA margin came in at 7.3% versus sequentially 5.6%. Consumer replacement business led the volume growth while farm continues to deliver steady performance. The stock is trading at a PE of 19.4 times TTM EPS. Thank you.
Yeah, ITC came up with the numbers, and numbers were ahead of expectations, mainly driven by agri business, which saw very high growth in revenue, but that is not a sustainable. It comes one-off in quarters. But apart from that, paper business has shown very good growth and improvement in EBITDA margin, and also the hotel business has also shown very good growth and improvement in profitability. Apart from that, the core business, that is cigarette business, was in line with expectations, and volume grew by around 25-26%, and revenue growth was higher at around 29%. FMCG also saw around 20% growth. These are all high growth is on the lower base last year and last to last year. That's why the growth seems comparatively strong. EBIT margins in cigarette business also saw some flattishness as compared to last year and last quarter, whereas if we see FMCG other business, the EBIT margins quarter on quarter has declined by around 90 bips. Year on year, it was more of a flattish. So overall seems results positive, and seems the volume growth also seems coming in cigarette, though at a lower level. This quarter, the higher volume growth of around 26% translate into 3-year CAGR of around 1.5 to 2%. So there are some volume growth, but not so extraordinary. And FMCG also is showing sales volume growth. So overall seems outlook more of a positive, but prices has moved up. The upside is limited from here. Then Bajaj Consumer came up with the number. The numbers were ahead of expectation or improved, mainly on account of higher sales growth. Sales which was consistently under pressure since last 4-5 quarter has shown good bounce back in this quarter and moved up by around 12.5% quarter on quarter. So that shows a positive trend, and in that approximately 1.5% increase is due to price, and the rest is totally from the volume growth. So 11% quarter on quarter volume growth seems quite positive, though EBITDA margins remain under pressure and came down further in this quarter, mainly on account of reduction in the gross margin. The gross margin declined by 1.5%, which management has guided earlier also. And since the company has introduced lot of new products in this last 1 year, so they had started spending more on advertisement, and that has also put a pressure on the EBITDA margin. So EBITDA margin, which was at around 17% came off to 14.5%, almost around 2%, 2.5% decline. So, but what we see that this is what the bottom of the EBITDA margin, and now things should start improving from here. And also revenue growth, if sustained, then can have a leverage benefit on EBITDA margin as well. So overall seems the outlook seems positive from here, considering the valuations and the revival which the new management has planned. The stock is trading at somewhere around 12 times FY24 earnings. So outlook is positive for Bajaj Consumer from a long-term perspective. Then UPL came up with the number. Here also the numbers were ahead of expectations, led by higher than expected revenue. And also EBITDA margin came up more of in line with what was expected. But the working capital has expanded disproportionately, and which has increased the debt. So on the balance sheet side, they had seen some pressure. So overall outlook is neutral for UPL. Then Zomato also came up with the number. The core their earlier business has in one of the business, that is delivery business, they had broken even in this quarter at EBITDA level. So that is showing a positive trend in that. But the concern about this stock was acquisition of Blinkit, and which has taken the break even or level to longer period than earlier expected. So that continue to remain under pressure. Blanket performance was declining, but their core business has come up with EBITDA positive, which was more of a surprise also to the market. So may see some positive trend because of that in the market. Now results for fourth. Alembic Pharma is expected to report number. Here the numbers are expected to show improving trend. Last quarter was very subdued, and from there it should show improving trend. Then Berger Paint is also likely to show good numbers. We had seen that Kansai Nerolac and Asian Paint has declared very good numbers, so Berger Paint also should report good numbers. Blue Star results are likely to be more of an okay set of numbers, though year-on-year growth will see like 100% growth in revenue. But last year the sales got impacted because of the COVID. 3-year CAGR revenue growth is expected at around 10%, which is reasonable. So results are likely to be okay. There is margin also because of the higher sales is likely to show improvement. Then Britannia Industry is likely to report number. Here also numbers are likely to show some flattish trend. Here more of a okay set of number, wherein volume growth of around 3% is expected, and revenue growth of 12% is expected year on year, and EBITDA margins are likely to show flattish quarter on quarter. But there are sign of reduction in the cost for the Britannia. So from here on, the margins can start showing improvement, and outlook for Britannia seems positive from here. Then Dabur India is also likely to report number. Here again, revenue is likely to grow by around 7% year on year, but margins here are likely to show improving trend quarter on quarter, but though it still will be lower than last year. So some improvement is visible in the Dabur India. So outlook, so more of an improving set of number expected. Dalmia Bharat results are likely to be okay. Here again, the expectation is that EBITDA per ton quarter on quarter will decline by around 160 rupees. So that was the case for most of the south and eastern player. So more of a inline type of number what the other company has reported. Then Gujarat Alkali is likely to report number. Most of the company in caustic soda are reporting better number. So quite possible Gujarat Alkali can also report better number. GSPL, Gujarat State Petronet, is likely to report declining number. Then JB Chemical, okay set of number are expected. Balkrishna Industry again is expected to report okay set of number. Other tire company has reported better number, but Balkrishna being exporter of tire mainly in off-road highway, and that to the European and US market. So similar principles for other tire company doesn't apply to Balkrishna Industry. Here numbers are likely to be more of a okay set of number. Balrampur Chini also likely to report okay set of number. Bayer Crop Science is likely to report improved numbers here. Both margins are also likely to improve, and revenue is also likely to show improvement of around 14% year on year. So Bayer Crop Science results are likely to be better. Bharat Heavy Electronic BHEL is likely to report better number year on year. Last year was very bad number, so from there some improvement will be there. Though Q1 is very weak for them, and company will continue to report EBITDA loss and PAT loss in this quarter, but will be showing some improving trend as compared to last year. Then GAIL is likely to report declining numbers. So that's all from us. Now I'll hand it over to commodity team, please.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Commodities witnessed profit booking yesterday, and prices are likely to correct today also. We may see profit booking continue today. Uh, Overall, gold should remain in the range of 51,700 to 450. However, one can buy on dips. 400 is a good level to enter long. Overall, prices are there is a strong support at 51,000. Buying on dips is recommended. Profit taking can come, but overall prices are likely to head higher. Silver too prices registered 58,800 levels yesterday and witnessed a correction. So today also we can see profit taking, and 57,500 to 57,000 is expected, and 57,000 should be a good price to enter long. So again, one can buy around 57,000. Crude is witnessing a weak weakness, and it is likely to trade a week below 74.50. Prices can test 7,300 to 7,200. In option side, 7,400 P could be active. Traders can buy around 310. Natural gas yesterday witnessed a rally after taking the support of 620, 610. So buying on dips is recommended in natural gas. 637, 635 should be good levels to enter long with a stop loss of 628. In options, 650 call should be active. So buying on dips around 54 is recommended. Copper is weak below 648. Prices can test 630, 632 levels, whereby again one can enter long. Zinc too weakness should be there below 299. So selling on rise for the target of 293, 292. That's it from me. Ria can take off from here.
Hello, good morning, everyone. So on the currency front, well, rupee has traded at its strongest level against the dollar. The dollar index has cooled off on the back of less aggressive US Fed. Also, the falling crude oil prices, which has happened, uh, is working in the favor of the Indian rupee, as slippage in the manufacturing data from China and Japan is indicating that the oil demand could be cooling off in the coming months. Secondly, there has been statements that have been coming in from the finance minister Sita Raman. She has said that India is focused on bringing the inflation below the level of 7%. Now, taking into consideration the various steps that the government has taken, such as excise duty, fuel cut, enhancing subsidies, slashing import duty on some edibles, oils, and also the cooling of commodity, all are working in favor for the Indian rupee. The recession fears and stagflation fears are on the probability of that happening is definitely lowering. I think the inflation could come for the month of July to 6.8% from the highs that we have seen in the 7.01%. Now, if you look at the forex reserves, well, RBI could have sold off 5.5 billion of forex reserves because it has dropped from the level of 572.7 billion to 571.6 billion dollars. Also, I think talking about the inflation of the Indian economy, why it could cool off is because there is a large shipment of sunflower oil to start from the Ukraine for the month of September 2022. 50,000 to 60,000 tons arrival is expected. Also, there is 2 million ton of sunflower oil that is expected from Ukraine as well. Uh, Now, India has waived off duty free for the coming 2 years, so this could also fuel the demand. For the palm oil, also there is 8 lakh ton that could be seen in September. India could be importing from that side. So, the household fuels. Could come on the inflation on the household fuels could come on the lower side. Talking about the Bank of England, well, they are scheduled for a rate hike on 4th August. So we could see the biggest rate hike around 25 of 50 bips. They have been doing 20 to 25 bips from the past five policy meet, but taking into consideration the strong stand that the ECB has taken, Bank of England could go for a uh, rate hike of 50 bips because the inflation is still high and it could see the level of 11%. Secondly, on the dollar index front, I think it could continue to cool off on the back of less aggressive uh, momentum that the Fed could pick up. So if you look at the Indian rupee today, it has again started on the lower end, 79.13, and it could see the levels of 78.80 into the intraday session. 79.04 is a very important support into the Indian rupee today. So maintain if it breaches 79.04, a sell could be initiated for the target of 78.80. 79.30 could be maintained as resistance for the day. Talking about the other pairs, JPY INR has shoot up because if you look at the USD JPY, it has cooled up from the highs of 140 to 130, and this is reflected into the rally of the JPY INR as well. One could take a longer call into this, or positional call could be taken on the long side for a target of 60.90, 61.50. Keep us SL at 60. Well, for the Euro INR and GBP INR, it could see a consolidation phase in the intraday as well. Bank of England is scheduled, like I said, on 4th for the policy meet. So before that, the silent period, you could see the consolidation. Until then, once they come out of the rate, volatility will increase. But until then, you could see consolidation phase into the Euro INR and GPB INR in the intraday sessions. You could follow levels. 81.68 is the resistance into the Euro INR, whereas 81.38 would act as a support. For the GBP INR, 97.25 will be the resistance and 96.86 will be the support. So that's all from the currency side. Thank you.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.